Now that I'm on YouTube, my editor and I do this thing at the beginning of every episode where we're like
the video.
and I'm pretty cool with that. Like, that's one of those small things where I'm like, that's kind of fun because everybody that's on YouTube, they want you to like the video, but they're always like really weird about it. They're like, please smash that like button.
Bro, if you don't drive your Ford F-150 into that like button, if you don't mercilessly beat that like button, then my kids won't eat.
And like, okay, that's a bit, you know what? Okay, fine, I'll do it. But the addition of the
video
is one of many things that have changed about my show. I used to not even really view what I do as content or a product. I always knew it had the potential to be that someday, but I honestly thought it would take a little bit longer. Anyways, I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself. This is one of those times where I just talk about myself. So I'm gonna actually hit y'all with the extended
Derapy. Season 3 of 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 Derapy. It's season 3.
I am just a person. I am one guy with 2 laptops and like 3 mics. My office is in one corner of the living room in a 1-bedroom apartment. We really up. I kind of just wanted to get on here and yap about how much things have changed since the summer of last year. I had this conversation with my mom today about how she's supposed to tell people what my show is, which I thought was really funny because I know what I'm doing.
Are you sure about that?
I still like to believe that generally I'm only putting out content that I really want to, even though I have people tell me every day what they think I should talk about. I'm getting better at telling people that I just don't care about certain things, but I'm happy about the fact that I found a niche because I've always loved music. And now that I have a platform to talk about it, the music that I like, new music that's coming out, and I have this wonderful community of people that are putting me on to music that they've created or artists that I just don't really listen to that much, I think it's super dope. But I do want to kind of get back to the roots of what the show was originally supposed to be. Not as much just talking about myself and my life. I will when I feel like I need to, but because this is my job now, I definitely want to make sure I still, keep the main thing. But I want you all to prepare yourselves for more content like this where I'm just talking to you about being a normal ass person, right? As much as I love talking about myself and music, I also really love the internet and the culture that is the ridiculous things that happen online, on Twitter and on YouTube. The coolest thing, or one of the coolest things rather, about me technically being a YouTuber now is that I have been on YouTube for 14 years, okay, as a consumer. And the fact that now my job is to talk about stuff on the internet is really exciting. And we'll talk more about what that means in regards to my content later. But I want to tell you all about 2 funny things that have happened in the past couple months. And they both involve my presence online, and they're both kind of insane. And they might not sound that crazy, but considering that literally like 99.9% of you didn't know who I was a calendar year ago, I want you to just try and put yourself in my shoes for a minute. So it's like 10:30 p.m. on a random weeknight, and my sister is FaceTiming me. And if you know me in real life, you know that I don't answer FaceTimes. Like I'm just not that type of person. I don't like being held hostage by having to be visually and like audio present at the same time. Like I just don't appreciate it. Just call me normally, right? But it's my little sister, so I want to make sure she's okay. So after ignoring the first phone call, when she calls me again, I do pick up. And she's telling me that she's hanging out at one of her friends' apartments. And they happen to have YouTube pulled up on their TV, and she noticed my name, like the name of my show, Derapy. She noticed that it was on their YouTube homepage, and she starts freaking out. She's like, "Is that Derapy?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You listen to Derapy?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she's like, "That's my brother." And they're like, "What? Why would you say that?" why are you saying that Derapy is your brother? And she's like, I swear I could call him right now. And she did. And I talked to her, and this guy on the other end is like,
No way, that's Derapy.
he's like, wow, your brother is Derapy. And I'm like, my name is Derek. That was just a really weird moment. I'm not saying like I had this moment of like, I made it, I'm him. But that was just an instance that really kind of made me a little more aware of what we've built here. I don't think about it in that sense often. Like, this show has reached a level where one in however many people you know might know about Derapy. It's funny because I've always wanted that, but when I started to increase the audience size, I didn't actually think about it that way. I'm just trying to eat. I'm trying to put out funny content and eat. I'm not thinking about the fact that
They're in your walls.
I'm creating a larger and larger digital footprint with every episode that I make that 5 or 10 or 20,000 people hear. When our community grows from 10,000 subscribers to 20,000 subscribers to 30,000 subscribers, I just think of it as, wow, I've done a great amount of work. This is just a milestone to indicate how much work we've put in and how great the community is. But it doesn't occur to me sometimes that there are people in the state that I live in, or people that will come in contact with the people that I know that will discover Derapy in an organic way. That was really, really interesting. I can't think of a better word, but it was very, I think surreal was the word. Another instance was, this happened a few weeks ago, and I didn't notice it, but my wife noticed it because she cares about our health and safety. So lock in with me for a second. As you all know, or may be aware, I don't know how to say these things anymore. I usually go live on Friday evenings on the YouTube channel. And somebody in the live chat said that they think they saw me at the Circle K. Circle K is a gas station. It's the one that's right next to me. I do go there a lot. And it never occurred to me that somebody may have organically discovered the Derapy YouTube channel or the Derapy podcast, and they see me go in there, AirPods in, totally oblivious to the fact that somebody in there is subscribed to my YouTube channel that I haven't told them about. So, like, I just wanted to share with you all these weird ass things that are happening to me in my life as somebody with a growing YouTube channel. I don't actively try and remain anonymous, but I don't assume that people are going to recognize me or become aware of who I am exactly or where I go. So that's just something that's new to me. And I feel like that's worth documenting because what the fuck? What is going on? In a way, it's exciting. In another way, it's like kind of weird. But I just wanted to share that with you all because it's really, like, that might not seem like a big deal to you all, but let me know if you or somebody you know has had an experience like that where they create content, they make music, and then suddenly, very, very slowly, over months or maybe a year, people in their community, their real life community, or in their personal circle start to notice the increase in probability that somebody will recognize you in real life. It's strange. I think moments like that really make me grateful that I have people in my life that kind of help keep me grounded and humble. If you know me personally, you might be aware of the fact that I have extreme confidence in myself, not just in my ability to produce a great podcast show and YouTube content, but just generally speaking. And I have to be honest about the fact that there have been points in the past couple months where I've caught myself like on some big-headed shit. And I'm really trying to, kind of remember where I came from. And I think that's why I listen back to the older episodes and I have these conversations with my brother all the time, talking about how great it is that the channel and the podcast have come as far as they have, but at the same time, remember, like, hey, as quickly as this is all built up, and I cannot express to you enough how not overnight it was. if you go through my channel or you scroll through my Spotify or Apple podcast feed, you'll see that I have been making podcasts for almost 4 years now. So I'm not surprised that when people do find the content that they enjoy it, because I've put thousands and thousands and thousands of hours into the art of podcasting, which is why it like personally bothers me when somebody like the Hawk Tua girl or any random person starts a podcast and it just balloons up to hundreds of thousands of listeners and subscribers, because they view my passion as like a fun way to diversify their revenue streams when I really built this shit up from nothing. And I'm trying to find like a good line between like talking my shit and also being humble. I feel like I've handled it all relatively well. Some people think it's weird that I read all of the comments. I would argue that it helps keep me humble. When I get the occasional hater or the occasional feedback that's like a little too aggressive and hostile, I think it's just a good reminder that like I'm not invincible. There's room for improvement. I could always write a little better, research a little better, perform a little bit better. But I just wanted to let you all know that at the end of the day, I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that has been doing something that they are absolutely in love with for 4 years, and was just fortunate enough within the past 5, 6, 7, 8 months to have a little boost, a little push from the YouTube algorithm, and now their dreams have come true. And if you're one of those people that's made it 11 minutes and 50 seconds into this podcast, then you might be one of those people that decided to become part of this journey. I think one thing that I take a lot of pride in is the fact that the people that subscribe to Derapy on YouTube, the people that follow the show on Spotify or Apple, and especially the people that become members and join the Discord, you all understand how much of a group project this is. I ask for ideas for titles, ideas for episodes, ideas for what to do on the live shows and how to do them, because despite the fact that the podcast is impeccably edited,
Hell yeah.
and very well performed,
Boy, if you don't get...
when it comes to actually being on YouTube and creating YouTube content, I'm still relatively new to it. So shout out to the derps, the subscribers, shout out the big derps, the members, shout out the biggest derps who are supporting me in a way that's actually allowing me to do this full time. I wanted to wait a little while before I disclose this, and I think it's important to disclose it because it's what I feel, and I do not want to get away from talking about whatever I want. I'm never going to tell you guys exactly how much money I'm making. What I will say is I'm making a little bit more than I was at my last job, and I feel like that's all that really matters. For the past couple months, we've kind of been like on the NBA would call it like a 2-way 10-day contract, something like that. We'll try it out, see how it goes, because I believe in my dream and know that I have the passion and the energy and the skill to make this my job and my career, doesn't mean that like everybody around me is immediately going to understand that, hey, he can do this full time and he can make it work. Like, I am not about to like out my wife and be like, she didn't believe in me. That wasn't the case. She knows how passionate I am about this, but there's no reason for her to believe that me just losing my job so abruptly right before Christmas, I would be able to immediately transition into making just as much, if not more money from this thing that to her, she knows I'm passionate about, but also there was no reason for her to believe that I would be able to immediately transition into this being my main source of income. But I will say, between her, my parents, and especially my brother, more than anybody in the universe, always believed that what you're hearing right now, whether it be on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere else, he always knew that it was going to get to this point. So shout out to him, my brother Damon. Hopefully he can be on the show at some point. Here's what you all can expect if you happen to be a investor, somebody that got in on the ground floor, somebody that found the Derapy show before it hit 50,000 or before it hit 100,000. This is what you can look forward to in the short term. On Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite albums of all time, Igor by Tyler, the Creator. It's going to be a 4-part series where I cover 3 songs at a time. For those of you that are just here because you love Kendrick Lamar and love hearing me talk about him, on Wednesday, I'm going to start covering Section 80.
I did not forget about covering part 2 of the Doechii album. And moving forward after the Super Bowl, I am going to be doing live shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As far as members, if you're one of the people that decided to take that leap and give YouTube your credit card information so you could pay me $1 a month minimum, you can get in and join the Big Derps for $1 a month. You are going to be getting a lot more impromptu live streams from me because I want to talk a lot more about the content that I see on YouTube, why I like it. I want to be one of those guys that not only is working extremely hard to put out high quality podcast episodes at least 5 times a week, but I also want to spend my days talking to you all about the content that I enjoy and why I enjoy it. So if you are a hater that's for some reason 16 minutes into a very, very not algorithm friendly episode of Derapy, then I have bad news for you. I'm here to stay, and I have so much more to do. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. I'm just a guy. I'm just a person, just like you. But I made my dreams come true, and who knows? You keep at it, maybe you can too. Love you. Mean it. Enjoy the outro.
I'm the hardest worker I know. Putting all this work, not knowing if I'm ever gonna blow. Getting redundant, I know. Talking about grinding, man, we get it. Keep working, it'll show. I got a friend named Kenzie, and I love her, but she called it a hobby. That did the opposite to stop me. 5'6", but Derapy still will grow. Babe said take a day off. I say no way. Never come off the clock. Not throwing away my shot. Won't get blocked. On the way to the top. Gotta take it up a notch. Turn my mic up, chiller. You get popped. No time to talk shop. I got things to do. I'm on the go. Man, I gotta take it slow. Begging me to switch the flow. I've been putting hours in. I'm a nerd about the show. You've been slacking and it shows. I'm obsessed, not too ashamed. I'm the master of this game. Y'all are dragging, I am slaying. I'm just saying I'm going in. No, I'm not tiptoeing in. Closer than I ever thought I'd be, and I'm not blowing it. 7 months and 90 episodes I did for free. All produced by Derek B. Done with all that charity. It's season.
You really thought we were finished. We're not going anywhere. We're just getting started, baby. It's season 3 of Derapy. Let's go.
Yeah. 11 years old, getting bullied about the glasses. I used to be afraid to get caught lacking between the classes. And in high school, I was trying to impress the girls and they were laughing. But you gotta remember who's laughing with you and who's laughing. Wait, talking about being popular back in grade school, that's lame as hell. If I ever do it again, then I swear to God, just kick my tail. I should not be swearing. My mom's a God-fearing woman and I fear the man upstairs too, but he's cool with what I've been cooking. And of course, yeah, it's all up in the name of him, not blaming him for nothing in my childhood. Cause nowadays, I got no real complaints and I've been smiling good. Never had to worry about the struggle of coming up out the hood. Cause now I just gotta be the man that promised Spice. I said I would.